Hey guys, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a dice version of a game that we like quite a bit, and that game is called The Little Flower Shop Dice Game. The Little Flower Shop Dice Game is a game from Dr. Finn's Games. It's a dice version of its bigger brother. I guess you could say bigger brother. It's not really that much of a bigger game, but it's the dice version of his previously released The Little Flower Shop. Plays 2 to 4 players pretty quickly, 30 minutes or so, because you're doing a lot of stuff at the same time. And what you're doing in this is you are running a flower shop, a little flower shop. The game is aptly named. Imagine that. And what you're trying to do is you are trying to roll dice to fulfill the requirements of the flowers so you can make the arrangement, score some points. You're also going to need a vase, and you may get like a picture or some kind of animal to help you score additional points. That's the gist of the game. Rolling dice, completing arrangements, trying to do the best you can over 6 rounds. So that's enough talking about it. Let's go on the table, check it out. All right, so here's a game of the Little Flower Shop Dice Game, all set up for 2 players. Setup's pretty straightforward. You're going to give each player a flower shop and a basket, $5. 4 of the flower dice, a vase die, or vase die, however you want to say it, and an initiative die. So we both have that. You're going to separate the money. You're going to flip out tiles based on the number of players plus 1. So in a 2-player game, we're going to have 3 tiles. And you're going to put out some salary. So in a 2-player game, there's a $1 bill and a $3 bill. And we'll have 1 task card, which is a goal or a couple goals that we're trying to achieve in our flower shop to score some additional points. We'll also have the wild tokens and the ribbons. Now, that's it. The game is pretty straightforward. Here's the game summary. I crossed out something because it had an error that no longer applies to the game. But this is the game summary. This is what we're going to do. So first thing we're both going to do is we're going to roll our dice simultaneously. So this is my roll. That's their roll. All right. Then, in initiative order, high initiative, we get to lock dice or not lock dice. So let's talk about that. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to lock dice to fulfill these goals here. So we want to fulfill these goals to score points. And that is why we're going to be using the dice and the vase. So what this player is going to do is they're going to lock some dice because they get a lock first. Now, you get a lock 1 or 2 for free. But you can pay $1 per die to lock extra, or you can pay $1 to lock 0. And then you can just try it again next turn. But what they want to do is, first thing that they want to do is they want to lock these. Put them in your basket. They're going after this one. So they need 2 of the tulips. I'm not sure what the flowers are. 2 of the tulips and the purple flower. And they have everything they need to complete this. So what they're going to do is, well, they don't have everything. So they are going to pay another $1 because they have the appropriate vase. So they'll pay $1. They're going to lock an additional die, and that is their turn. So they locked 3 dice on their turn instead of the 2. This player, what do they want to do? They're going to lock these 2. So they're going to lock the orange flower and the yellow vase because they're trying to go after that one. This symbol right here is any flower shape that is a wild. So any flower will work to accommodate that request. All right, then. After everybody's locked, we'll re-roll again. So this is this player's dice. High initiative gets to lock first. So this player is going to lock, whoop, that was this one, and this one. And they're actually going to spend another $1 to lock this one because they're worried that the other player is going to steal what they want. And now, before this player gets to go, when all your dice are locked, you're going to move on to the next phase. So what that phase is earning salary. Then we're going to take tiles, and then we're going to spend our dice. So before this player does anything, this player gets to do all the rest of that. So the way the salary works is first player, or when you lock, you take the lowest salary available. So in this case, this player is going to take $1. So they spend $1, and they basically get their $1 back. Then what they're going to do is they're going to take a tile that they want. So they're going to take this tile, and they're going to put it in their flower shop. So let's see. Let's go ahead and put it in this one. So they have that. Now what they're going to do is they're going to use dice and money. So if you look at your dice, you have all these dice that you can use to complete this. So what you're going to do is you're going to spin your dice to complete. So I need 2 pinks, a purple flower, and a yellow vase. This die is not relevant during this phase. It is out of the using dice phase. Then once I've completed this, I can flip it. Then I can also, according to this die, I can spend $1 or 1 die for $1, 2 dice for a wild token, $3 for a wild token, or $5 for a ribbon. So what I want to do is I want to spend this die for $1. That'll give me $5. And now I'm going to spend my $5 because I want to get a ribbon. You can only buy a ribbon when you complete an arrangement, and that's going to give you an extra point. So now I have a special arrangement. All right. And then I use all my dice. So that's my turn, or that player's turn. Now we'll go to this player. Same thing. They're going to be locking 2. They can pay to lock extra, but they're not going to do that. They're going to lock this one. They'll go ahead and lock this die because it doesn't matter anymore because that player's done. Then we'll roll. I'm going to pay $1 because I don't want to lock any of those. I'm trying to get an orange. I'll pay another $1. Probably not wise, but it's okay. There we go. So I got this. I'll lock these 2. And there we go. All right. So I'm going to take this money because I take the lowest salary. Then I'm going to take the tile that I want. I want this one. It is a bear, so it's not going to help me with this bottom one, but I can still try to get the 15 points for, well, this column's going to be hurting because it has a bear, but I can still get 15 points across each row. So now what I want to do is I'm going to assign my dice. So I'll spend 1, 2, 3, and the yellow vase. Again, this one doesn't count here. I'll flip this over because I completed it. Now I have a die left. I can spend 1 die for $1, so I'll go ahead and do that. And I'm going to also buy a ribbon for $5. And now that will be worth 6 points. So that is that. And that is the end of day 1. We're going to play over 6 days. So once your flower shop is full, 3 in the top, 3 in the bottom, you will score your points. So to set up for another round, you're going to get rid of this tile, bring out 3 new ones, because remember it's number of players plus 1. New salary, which is a 1 and a 3. And then we'll keep rolling and keep fulfilling the order of the game. The game will end when everybody has 6, so at the end of the 6th day, whether you've completed them or not, but at the end of the 6th day, you're done. Then you're going to score your arrangement, so you'll get points for this. 1 point per ribbon. Which one else is there? And the task. That's the only points. If there's a tie, the player with the most tokens wins the tie. Or the player with the most money wins the tie. It's still tied most tokens. So that's how you play it. It's just a little dice rolling game, trying to fulfill some contracts. So let's go up to the top, see what we think about it. All right, well, that was the Little Flower Shop dice game. Yeah, this is a cute, simple, easy to play, fast playing, enjoyable game. So if you like the Little Flower Shop, a lot of this stuff will feel pretty familiar to you. The Little Flower Shop is a card drafting game, kind of like Sushi Go or Seven Wonders or something like that. You're passing cards around to make the best displays that you can in your flower shop. In this one, they've substituted the drafting with dice rolling. So you got the Yahtzee mechanism where you're rolling, trying to fulfill the contracts on the arrangements. So that's the gist. This is fun. I enjoy the game. I always like games where I can roll dice. I like rolling dice a lot better than drafting. That being said, I do like the Little Flower Shop better because I think the drafting mechanism works a little bit better, in my opinion, to build your flower shop. Now, let me explain why I say that. In this game, like you saw in the overview, you're rolling these flower dice. They have 3 different kinds of flowers on them, and you're rolling this vase die or vase die that has 3 different vase types. That's pretty straightforward. Pay money to lock extra dice, kind of like Dice Town, so on and so forth. The thing I don't really like is this die, the initiative die. So basically, highest initiative gets to go first in turn order. So if we all roll highest initiative gets to lock their dice first. Fine. What I don't like about this is before you can move on to your arrangements, you have to lock your initiative die. Well, why is that a big deal? Because this die doesn't even do anything when you're into this phase of the game. It's completely irrelevant once we get past locking the dice. It's only there so people can get first dibs on arrangement tiles or salary. No purpose after that. I would have rather this been, I don't know, there just been a turn order, and we get this die would be an extra die of a flower or a vase, or, you know, like the little, maybe it's a thing that has symbols on it to help you get additional points or something. I don't know. I'm not a game designer, but I don't like this as much as I like the rest of it. So that's why this die is just not my jam. Other than that, though, the rolling the dice and the fulfilling the arrangements is like a ton of dice games that do that, where you're trying to roll dice and get certain things. Like think Yahtzee, you're trying to roll dice, get a full house, or that kind of thing. This is the same kind of thing, except one, the artwork looks 1,000 times better because Yahtzee is just a sheet of paper, and this one has gorgeous little flowers. The iconography is really easy to tell. It matches everything on the back, on the dice. The symbols are exactly the same. The wild one makes sense too because there's no symbol of that on the die, so it's easy to differentiate. The iconography on the bottom that shows what's on the other side for the task card purposes, easy to tell. Points, big number and a star. One thing I didn't talk about are the wild tokens. You can buy a wild token either with 2 dice or $3. Basically what that means is you can store 5 wild tokens in your flower shop, and you can cash this in to complete an arrangement that needs a lot more dice. So this one, for example, you only have 5 dice. You have 4 flower dice in a vase. This one takes 5 flower dice in a vase. So you're going to need to use some wild tokens on this to get this fulfilled. That's why it's worth 7 points. So if you're going to do something like that, you want to make sure you have some wild tokens at the ready so you can fulfill it. The money in this one is effectively the same as in Little Flower Shop. No difference there. I do like the quality of the dice, though. They're really nice. They're not like engraved or anything, but they still feel good quality, rounded edges. Not going to like cut your fingers up when you're rolling them. Yeah, I enjoy this game. Like I said, I think I might like Little Flower Shop better. My own personal opinion. That's nothing to do with this game. If I'm going to compare the two, I like that one a little bit better. But yeah, this is solid. And this is going to get a BGM accepted seal because it is solid. And I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10, which is a 3.5 out of 5 wrenches on an arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing. But I like to give it the games that I enjoy. So that's what I'm going to do. So that is the Little Flower Shop dice game from Dr. Finn. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics. And as always, keep gaming.